What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of She Speaks Blog. I am your host, Kirsten Thompson from SweetTeaLLC.co, and this is the one about building and growing your email list the right way. Whether you have just started blogging or just started growing your email list, or you've been blogging for 10 years and you want to take your email list to the next level, I guarantee you that you'll find some tactics in here to help you do just that. So let's get right to it. She Speaks Blog is an unfiltered and unpredictable podcast and video show that gives you blog tips and strategies so you can be more epic. So grab your beverage of choice, crank up your earbuds, and listen in as She Speaks Blog. Hey guys, welcome back. I am stoked to talk about email because email is my jam. Before we get into this episode, I have to apologize for my voice. I'm very nasally. I've been fighting a really nasty head cold for the past week, and this is the second one in 3 weeks. I'm not very happy. Apparently, my body doesn't understand that I've started a new podcast and I have to record things. So, forgive the nasal. We're going to get through this, though. It's all good. I'm finally on the mend. I'm feeling better. I still just don't sound very good. So, you'll just have to get over that part. Okay. We're going to talk about email today, okay? I love talking about email. And if you are a brand new blogger, this is one of the things that I hear a lot is like, you see all these people who are starting a blog and they're like, okay, I know I need a website and maybe they want to go ahead and set up hosting and get a custom domain and yada, yada, yada. And email doesn't make the list of things that they need to be doing from the beginning. But email should be on the list of things you should do from the beginning. But if you've been blogging for a while and you just haven't gotten around to email, that's fine. I'm going to help you today. If you have been growing an email list, but you're trying to just amp it up a little bit and take it to the next level, we're going to talk about some strategies for that too. So, first, let me be very clear that email is mucho importante, okay? You should be more focused on growing an engaged email list than growing your social media following. I just dropped that bomb. And yes, I said it. I know that social media is important. I understand that. But email is more important than social media for two main reasons. Number one is control, and number two is ownership. Okay? You have complete control over the schedule of your emails, over the content of your emails, over who gets those emails, and so much more. Okay? Social media, you're dependent on algorithms, let's be honest. And when those algorithms change, you have to start from scratch to figure out what works and what doesn't. Except Facebook, right? Because they don't ever change their algorithm. They're the only constant in social media. Totally kidding. If you don't hear sarcasm in that, please go back and listen to it again. The second part to that was the ownership part. So you own your email list, right? If you were to, for whatever reason, have your Facebook page removed, which has been known to happen. There have been bloggers who have lost their Facebook pages. Facebook just decides that they've done something that they don't like and they take it away. Or let's say that Twitter goes away. You lose all of those contacts. With email, you own your list. It's yours. Regardless of which email platform you use, whether that's MailChimp or ConvertKit or Aweber or Constant Contact or whatever, when you leave that platform, you take your list with you. If you want to change from MadMimi to MailChimp or MailChimp to ConvertKit or ConvertKit to Aweber or whatever, you take your list with you. It doesn't stay with the platform. But if you leave Facebook or you leave Twitter or you leave Instagram, those people are gone. You have no other way of contacting those same people. So email is really, really important for bloggers. And we're going to talk about starting and growing your list today. So we're going to dive right into some strategies, okay? So if you're at the very beginning of this whole email list growth thing, let's start there. If you're new to blogging or you're just new to building your email list, this is some stuff that you need to think about. So the very first thing, the most obvious thing is your sign-up forms, okay? You have to have sign-up forms. And that seems very obvious, but I can't tell you how many clients I have worked with who, when I go to their blog, I can't find their sign-up forms anywhere. And they're going, I don't know why I'm not getting email sign-ups. And it's because they have hidden a sign-up form somewhere on their website and I have to go dig for it. Sign-up forms are not Easter eggs, people. Sign-up forms need to be visible. They need to be obvious. They need to be blatant. Your readers should not have to search for a way to sign up. Okay? You need to give them multiple options. Every single time someone visits your website, they need to have several different options for signing up. They need to have multiple reminders that you want them on their email list. Okay? I'm not talking about getting like crazy with ridiculous pop-ups everywhere, and you don't want one as soon as they come up and another one at the exit and another one here and all. You don't want to irritate people, but you do want to let them know that you want them on their email list and it would be of value to them to sign up. Okay? But you have to make it obvious. And if you make it obvious, you are going to have more opt-ins. People are going to sign up for your list if they see a sign-up form. It just makes sense. So put sign-up forms in logical places. You definitely want one in your sidebar. I recommend above the fold, which if you're not familiar with what that term means, that means that as soon as you go onto your website, without having to scroll, what can you see? That's above the fold. If you have to scroll, that's below the fold. Makes sense, right? That's the fold, is the bottom of your computer screen. So I highly recommend that you put a sign up option above the fold so that it's one of the first things that they see when they come to your website. If you have a static homepage like I do on Sweet Tea LLC, put a sign up form on your homepage. Make it really obvious that it's there. So if you go to sweetteallc.co, you will see right below the slider, I have like 3 images that slide through, and right under that is this huge sign up form. And it's very obvious. I have one on my sidebar as well. Another place to put it is in your post footer, okay? And there's a lot of plugins that you can use if you're on WordPress where you can just automatically drop that in. You don't have to hard code it every time. If you're on ConvertKit, they make it super, super easy. They give you, with the ConvertKit plugin, they give you a little drop down underneath every post and every page in the text editor. And you literally just select whichever form you want to go on that post and that page. So you can put a sign up form on every post, every page footer, and it can be totally different. It's up to you. And don't overlook pop-ups either. I know I mentioned them a minute ago, and they can be obtrusive and obnoxious if they're done that way, but you can use pop-ups politely. If you have followed me for any length of time, you've heard me talk a lot about Pop-Up Ally. Pop-Up Ally is awesome, and the pro version allows you to turn it off on mobile, which is really important. So let's talk about that for just a minute. If you have a pop-up on your website, Google did something back in January where they said if you have a mobile pop-up, you will get dinged in mobile search. That's basically what it says. So if you have a pop-up or a slider box or anything like that on your website to attract signups, make sure that you have the capability to turn it off on mobile devices, okay? So a few that I can recommend, MailMunch is really great. Hello Bar is good because it's a static bar that sits right at the top of your blog, of your website. Like I said, Pop-Up Ally is really great. And then ConvertKit has modal forms that you can set up and they pop up on your website as well. So there are tons of options. I do not recommend SumoMe. I've been very outspoken about SumoMe having some glitches and they haven't fixed it. I have a lot of clients that I've worked with personally who have been using SumoMe as a pop-up, but a large percentage of the people who sign up on that SumoMe form don't actually make it to their email list. So for some reason, there's a disconnect there. There's a miscommunication between SumoMe and these email platforms, and I'm not sure what it is, and SumoMe hasn't fixed it. And this has been years that they've known about it. So I don't recommend SumoMe for a pop-up. You can try it with other sign-up options and it may work fine. But if you're using SumoMe, just make sure that you go in occasionally, at least every week or every couple of weeks, depending on how fast your list grows, and export the entire list of people who have signed up for your email form and import them into your email platform. Do it manually just to make sure you don't miss anybody. Because if somebody signs up for your email list and they never actually make it there and you realize it, 6 months later, and all of a sudden 6 months after they sign up, you start sending them emails, they're going to think you're spam because 6 months go by and they haven't heard from you. They're not going to remember signing up. So just be very careful of that. If you're asking for email addresses, make sure you're sending emails. Another place that you can gain subscribers is through social media. And while I'm not a huge proponent of social media, I don't like social media, I know that it's necessary as a blogger and as an online business owner. We have to be on social media. Which platform depends on our business, but social media can really help us grow our email list. So one of the things that I recommend that I do for my clients too is create a simple landing form, a landing page. And this can either be one of two things. You can use something like Lead Pages, or you can use a landing page in ConvertKit and make an actual landing page that goes into your email sign-up form and get the link to that. Or you can just create a page on your blog that's your blogurl.com/whatever, join list, sign up, whatever you want it to be, and you embed a form onto that page. So on that social media landing page, you're basically going to tell people that you want them to sign up for your email list. Here's the free option that I have, or the opt-in offer that I have, and here's how you sign up. And it's really simple. I have a blog post that I'm actually going to link to in the show notes that helps you create this social media landing page. But you make this page, and that is what you can link to on social media. So you have a social media landing page that you're going to use to collect subscribers from social media. Where do you put it? Well, if you're posting regularly on social media, make a regular part of your rotation of social media posts be about your email list. Let's say you send a newsletter every Friday like I do. Maybe on Thursday afternoon or Thursday morning, you want to pop in on Facebook and say, hey guys, I'm sending out my next newsletter tomorrow. Can't wait for you to see it. Make sure you're on my list. And you link to that social media landing page. On Facebook, you have a call to action button right there at the top of your Facebook page. So it's really convenient. You can just click on that call to action button and you can edit what that button does. So you can make it say sign up and it links to your social media page. Okay. If you're on Instagram, you get one link. So if you want to change your one link on Instagram to your landing page, you can do that. And then people will opt into your list. On Twitter, write a tweet about your email list and make sure you include the link to that landing page and then pin that tweet to the very top of your Twitter profile. And then finally on Pinterest. Pinterest in my mind is a search engine, not a social media platform, but for the sake of this conversation, we're going to talk about it like that. Create a vertical image that talks about your email list and pin that to Pinterest and make sure it links to your landing page. We get so much traffic from Pinterest, it doesn't make sense not to mention your email list there, right? And just remember to occasionally go in and repin that or set it up as a board booster campaign or a tailwind and set it up to repin regularly so it's constantly going out and people can see it. So definitely take advantage of the different tools that you have on social media and create that social media landing page so that you can be sending people there and gaining subscribers from all these different social media platforms. And another way, especially if you're just getting started, is to create a simple opt-in. And this doesn't have to be anything elaborate or crazy, okay? But people are more likely to sign up if they have an incentive. So give them an incentive. And this could be something as simple as a resource guide, okay? Resource guides do very well as opt-in offers, and they don't have to be anything huge. You can make a 2-page PDF in Canva and dress it up a little bit with your branding colors and your logo maybe at the top, put your URL at the bottom. And it can be different for whatever your blog is. So if you're a food blogger, you might want to create a resource guide that talks about your go-to kitchen utensils or your must-have kitchen gadgets or the ingredients I have to have in my kitchen all the time, or, like a stock your pantry kind of resource guide. If you're a fashion blogger, you could create a capsule wardrobe guide and have a different one for each season. Anything like that works really well. And the nice thing is, while you cannot, let me be very clear. I want to make sure you hear me enunciate this. While you cannot use Amazon affiliate links directly in your email, you can use them on the PDFs that you're sending as an opt-in. So if you create these resource guides and you fill those with Amazon affiliate links, you're sending that to people when they sign up as their freebie. There's a potential there to earn affiliate income. In addition to a resource guide, if you do any kind of photography, you could create some stock photography images, or you could create some graphics. On Sweet Tea and Saving Grace, every single month, I send my subscribers a desktop calendar that I've made and a Facebook cover. And it's really simple for me to create those in Canva. They're really beautiful. I put Bible verses on them. I use stock photography that's really beautiful, and people love them. And if I miss one, I get emails from people and they're like, I need my calendar. So people really look forward to that stuff. So it doesn't have to be anything elaborate. Like I said, it can be something very simple, very quick for you to make, but it's valuable to the people who are coming to your website, so they'll sign up to get it. And then once they're on your email list and they start getting emails from you, they're going to want to stick around because you're going to be sending them really great content. Now, when you're ready to kind of kick things up a little bit, after you've spent some time growing the base of your email list and you're kind of ready to grow a little bit more, or if you've been blogging for quite a while and you're ready to take it to the next level, especially if maybe you have some products or services that you're preparing or you're going to be launching soon, there are some other growth strategies that you can use to grow your email list even more and to make it even more engaged. So the first thing is content upgrades. Content upgrades are very similar to opt-in offers, but the difference is content upgrades are directly associated with particular blog posts. So, for example, you could create a content upgrade specifically about slow cooker recipes, whereas your entire blog is about food in general. And then you go into your slow cooker recipes blog posts and attach that content upgrade to each of those slow cooker posts. So the people who come there are already interested in slow cooker recipes, and they're going to see that they can get 10 free slow cooker recipes in an ebook and sign up that way. So they are similar to opt-ins, like I said, but they're a little more niched down, which helps you target your audience a little bit better. So while everybody who comes to your site might be interested in food, there's a specific segment of your people who come to you for slow cooker or one pot meals or instant pot or whatever. So think about that. You can use one content upgrade on multiple posts, but try not to use it too many times because it kind of loses its value if you put it on like 20 different blog posts. You want it to be kind of exclusive. Like I said, this is a really great way for you to segment your list and really target your emails. So if you are getting ready to launch a product or a service, think about the content that you already have on your website that speaks to your soon to be released product or service and what you can give for free to incentivize people to join. And you're basically building a beta group for your product or service. So in the example of the food blogger, if you have a huge cookbook coming out that's like 51 pot meals, maybe take 2 or 3 or 4 of those that you've never put on your website and make a small ebook out of it and use that as a content upgrade. All the people who opt in using that content upgrade are targeted for you to start pitching your soon to be released cookbook that's for sale. So that's a really great way to use content upgrades, especially like I said, when you're getting ready to launch a product or a service. You want to go ahead and think about existing content on your website and how you can add value to that with a freebie, and then get those people onto your list so that you can start pitching stuff to that segment of your list. They're already targeted for you. So some examples of content upgrades, and they don't have to all be PDFs, but you can absolutely do PDFs like ebooks and things like that. But you can do video and audio content. You can create templates. I've done like spreadsheet templates and stuff for my audience. You can create courses and quizzes. So anything that you can do to add value to your existing blog post and to give your readers a little something special is a great way to add a content upgrade to your post. So another great way to build your email list is to create a challenge or a course that you deliver through email. So I created one called SEOMG. I've got another one for MailChimp that's MailChimp 101. I have several. I love doing courses through email. They're really, really great content upgrades, and it's a really easy way for me to really target my list and fine-tune my segmentation a little bit so I can see which people on my email list are MailChimp users and which ones might not be, or who's interested in this particular thing. And it's a nice way to test out ideas that I have for upcoming products too. So if I have a lot of people opt in and give me really great feedback on one of my courses or my challenges, that's something that I might tack on to one of my paid courses later on as a module or lessons or something like that. So it's a good way to test that out. But you can basically go in and create a series of emails that are delivered one day at a time over 3 to 5 days. I wouldn't go over 7 days for a challenge or a course, but you want every email to be awesome. You want every email in that challenge or course to be actionable, and you want to ask people for feedback. So you want to include a call to action in there. So you go in and you create a landing page specifically for this challenge or course, and you spread it everywhere. You talk about it to your existing list. You talk about it in a blog post. Maybe you do a video, you do some Facebook ads, you talk about it on Instagram, like you share it everywhere. And then as soon as people sign up, they get an initial welcome email that's like, I'm so excited you're going to join me on this challenge, or that you've signed up to take this course. It's going to be awesome. Here's what you're going to learn. Share it with your friends. And you're going to include a link for them to click to tweet, to click to share it on Facebook, whatever. And then the next day or whenever your course or challenge starts, they're going to get the day 1 email, and it's going to be the lesson, and a day 2 email the next day and the lesson, and so on. And they're going to do that until they complete the challenge. And then you're going to want to follow up with them and ask them for specific feedback or testimonials that you can use on your website. And this is a little bonus to that. If this is something that you're doing to test out an idea for a future product or service, set up a private Facebook group for the people who sign up for this challenge or course so that you can interact with them a little more directly. It's also a great way for you to go live. You can talk to them in a video form. So you can go live in there every single day and go, hey guys, today's lesson was all about whatever. Let's talk about it. What questions do you have? And it's a really awesome way for you to get right in front of your target audience and really find out what additional value you could add to this to make it a paid product or service. And it also gives subscribers a place to talk to each other, and it forms more of a community. So they feel like they're getting a little bit more value than just the course or the challenge itself. Another tactic that I like to do, and I did this a lot last year, is joint ventures. I love a good collaboration. And basically a joint venture is a collaboration that you do with another blogger in your niche. So you can do this regardless of what niche you're in too. So you can get in front of their audience and they can get in front of yours, and you share the subscribers for whatever the joint venture is that you're doing. You could do workshops, you can do live workshops, in-person workshops, webinars. You could record video or audio tutorials together. You could do a summit with a lot of different bloggers in your niche. There's a lot of different things that you can do as a joint venture. And the nice thing about these, like I said, is that you get exposure to an entirely new audience of people who may have never heard of you before. So if you reach out to other bloggers in your niche, it benefits you, but it also benefits them, and you guys can work together on things. And in addition to that, or feeding off of that, is to write guest posts. This is particularly useful if you are getting ready to promote a product or service. Start reaching out to bloggers in your niche and ask them if you can write a guest post on their website about something related to your upcoming product or service, and be very upfront with them and let them know that, yes, I am getting ready to create a book or a course or whatever on this thing, and I'm trying to promote it. Would you mind if I write a blog post, and I'll give your audience something for free? So you'll create a content upgrade for your guest posts, and you'll create a form for that guest post, and you will write on those blogs, and you'll reach their audience and give them something for free when they sign up for your email list. So those all kind of can be tied in together. You can use one or the other, or you can use some of them in collaboration with one another. So you could write a guest post on someone else's website that leads into a challenge or a course that leads into a paid product. So no matter what stage of growing your email list you're in, you need a welcome sequence. A welcome sequence, whether it's 1 email or 5 or however many you want, is basically a warm welcome to your list. So rather than someone signing up, say on a Monday, and your newsletter doesn't go out till Friday, so they don't hear from you for a week or for 5 days, as soon as they sign up, they get an email that says, hey, I'm so glad you're part of my community. Let me tell you who I am and what to expect. So in that first email, not only are you going to welcome them, you're going to tell them who you are. And I highly recommend that you also include a picture of yourself because it makes things a lot more personal. And you also want to give them links to share. So that social media landing page, you want to link to that and say, hey, I would really love it if you'd invite some of your friends to join us in this community. And here's the value that I provide. And you probably know people who want this too. Okay. So that's the very initial welcome email. And then from there, you can go on to send 3 to 5 additional emails, 1 day apart or a couple days apart, and tell them a little bit more about who you are and what you do. But you always want to make it about them and what value you're giving to them. So if you have, let's say, 5 categories on your website, each email in that sequence can be highlighting one category on your blog and showing them some of the highlights from different blog posts. If you are like me and you have courses and webinars and podcasts and all these different pieces to your business, each email in your sequence can be about different pieces of your business. So just be creative with that. But a welcome sequence is a really great way to boost engagement immediately after someone signs up for your email list. And I think this is really important in your welcome sequence. Ask a question, particularly at the end of the first email. Ask a question that relates to your niche, that you can learn something about your audience from the answer. And here's the kicker to that. If you ask a question and they respond, you need to answer them. At the very least, just to say thank you, okay? Try to answer every email, even if it's a few days later. So a lot of people don't even realize that they can hit reply and get to you. Let them know that. Hey guys, hit reply and tell me the answer to whatever, okay? It encourages conversation. It makes you feel like a real person instead of just a screen with some words on it. And it lets people know that you care about them enough that you want them to talk to you and you're going to talk back. So finally, after you've done all of this stuff to grow your list, you want to make sure that you maintain a consistent email schedule and that you send valuable content to your list, okay? If you are just regurgitating blog posts, that's no different than sending an RSS. There's no personalization there. There's no incentive for them to really stick around because they can just go to your blog and get that information. So take some time and really talk to your subscribers. And if it's hard for you to think in those terms, think about how you would tell your friend whatever's going on in your life or with your blog or your business or what have you, and write that in an email. That's how you should talk to your subscribers, like you're talking to a friend. You want to use their name. You want to be very honest with them. And you want to tell them more than just a recap of what's on your blog. So yes, you can link to your blog post, but you want it to be organic when you do so. Okay, so you want to kind of tell the background. You want to maybe talk about the before and not the after and have them click over to go read your blog post to see the after, or tell them the heart behind whatever you just did, or, anything like that. If you've been sick, talk about it. Whatever you can do to make yourself more relatable and real, your email is the place to do that, okay? Your blog is for the pretty, the Pinterest, the staged, everything like that. Your email is for you to be more personal with your readers because they are your VIP community. They're the ones who are going to buy from you. They're the ones who are going to share your content. They're the ones who are going to tell their friends about you. So make sure that you take care of those people and they will take care of you. See ya.
Hang on, don't go. Be sure to subscribe to She Speaks blog so you never miss an episode. And if you're really cool, and I know you are, give this video a big thumbs up and leave a comment below. You can catch all episodes and show notes on sweetteallc.co. And while you're there, use the contact form to say hi or ask a question. Now go do more of what makes you awesome.